Right. Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? This is the Two Dogs podcast, and I'm Dr. Inky.
And I'm Dr. Ali. Hi, guys.
And with us, we have a special guest.
Yes.
We have a manly man,
Manly man, Mr.
man of all men's.
Stevenson.
And I'm not a doctor.
Ooh.
And he's not a doctor.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't
He
matter.
actually didn't want to be on the show because he says he's intruding. And I said, no. If it was called Two Dogs and a Chick, you would be
then you're intruding. Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
But since it's two dogs, the requisite has been met. You are actually add on value.
All right, 2 + 1 day.
Okay, Ingy, what are we talking about this week?
All right. So, couple of days ago was International Men's Day. And then, as usual, whenever there's a big event, right, Google usually have that doodle thing on their search engine. Yeah. So every year during International Women's Day, they have a specialized doodle for Women's Day.
Okay.
But when it came to International Men's Day,
yeah,
there was nothing, zero,
none.
None. It basically it is something which is not celebrated at all.
Not even highlighted. Not even like
nothing. No mustache, no monocle, nothing whatsoever.
Not even a David Beckham face there.
No, nothing whatsoever. So zero doodle from Google, and then the topic was actually brought up by our good friend Ziming, who's trying to run away from Texas. So okay, joking. All right. So the topic would be: Are men a necessity? Do women still need men around in their lives?
Are we still relevant?
We're still relevant. Are men still relevant?
Do they even care? Side track. You know, there's International Nurses Day, International Students Day, International Teachers Day. The bloody Doctors Day, right, is hardly ever celebrated.
Of course, because nobody actually really cares about the doctors. No,
you know what's worse? There's no International Armies Day.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
But Malaysia,
no
Hari Pahlawan, which we don't really care.
Yeah, we don't really celebrate. Actually, when I was studying in Russia, we had Victory Day. So Victory Day was a very large holiday. Victory Day was the day.
Right. Yeah, Hari Pahlawan. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
He used to do the dance. Commando Greenfish.
Yeah.
Once upon a time.
So okay, sidetrack. So in Russia, Victory Day. Victory Day is a huge day. Yeah. So Victory Day is where all the vets all come out with their uniform, with their medals. It's because it's to commemorate the day itself, whereby the Russian army actually stormed Berlin and actually took over Berlin. So it's a big day lah. It basically marked the end of World War II. So anyway, we sidetracked a lot.
Well,
we do that all day.
Maybe they may celebrate Doctors Day after the whole COVID-19 situation.
I doubt so. I doubt so.
They'll probably have Hari Politik Kebangsaan.
Yeah, or they'll have Happy Pfizer's Day or something like that.
Kebangsaan. They will have Hari COVID Negara. Sorry, no one gives two hoots about us unless you did something wrong.
All right, so sidetrack already.
Let's go back.
Okay, let's come back. Yes, so are men still relevant? Do women still need men? Actually, I actually know a lot of women who don't really. Yeah, they actually swear. I wouldn't say they swear off men. They actually live a much more happy and peaceful life without being married.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean they are independent. They don't really need men around. They have male friends. They probably have male companions as well. But really, whether they need a man, a solid alpha male figure in life, these women actually don't need them. So I think the world is starting to shift towards that. Men now are no longer the alpha figures, especially from a guy coming from the army. How? Any input? The army is all alpha males, man.
Alpha males.
Listen, mate, you were talking about single women, not from single women not needing men.
Yeah.
If you asked my wife today, I'd reckon she'd say, I don't need him, he needs me. So, but coming from a guy who's not a doctor,
No, this is not a medical
It's
topic.
nice. It's
Yeah,
nothing to do with profession at all.
The first thing that came to my mind was procreation. Shit, I'd reckon that's one of the reasons why men are still relevant and why still men are needed.
Yeah, they only need
So they only
sperm.
need
They don't
you.
need us for the sex.
Yeah, exactly. They don't need you for anything else. So it means that in your stand, men are no longer relevant. They're only relevant when it comes to procreation.
Procreation.
Nothing else.
Well, I said that, whatever it may be, yes, men are still relevant. Men are still needed to, pull the chairs, open the car doors, put on their coats, take off their coats.
Those are not needed. Those are nice to have.
The thing is, do men still do those?
Do men even do that?
Do men still open the door, hold the door, hold coats and stuff like that?
Oh, do you do it?
I'm hoping my wife watches this at some point. Of course I do it. She'll say it's a lie, but of course. For the public eye, of course. I'm a true gentleman.
Yeah. He used to do it while we were dating.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if it's gonna be procreation, now sperm banks are there, and more women are moving towards. Why do I need to go through the emotion of having a guy who's going to break my heart and who's, not going to tidy up, and I need to do all his laundry and cook for him just because of his precious sperm for procreation?
Yeah. Dude, well, nowadays, women don't have to do all that cooking and laundry and all that good stuff. I'm a guy, I'm a manly man. I do it for my missus. So it tells you who runs the household, who wears the pants in the house.
Yeah.
Hey,
well done to your wife, man.
There you go.
Yeah, well done to your wife.
So finally, we have a 1-0 up that men are still needed to do some housework if they can function.
Well, then again, if it's just mainly for housework, right? Why don't you just get a domestic helper, a part-time domestic helper, just come and clean the house?
Yeah, but she doesn't give sex.
Well, if you tip her enough.
Well, you do have to pay for the helper. Whereas the man,
well, if you tip her enough, why not?
It's free 24/7.
Yeah. Plus, if the man is earning, then you can still squeeze something out of him if you really wanted to.
So actually, are men still needed or relevant for the emotional balance side? Do you want to balance the entire emotional aspect of it? Because as you know, women are more in touch with their emotions, and men are less. So if you have, if a woman is by herself, she might get a little bit too emotional. I would say, do you need the man to balance the logical aspect of it?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Because initially you started with do women need men to balance emotional side? I was like, what? We don't contribute much emotion apart from pain, heartache, and frustration.
Yeah.
But you
counteract.
You
counteract. Yeah.
They need. Well, not they need, but it will be a good balance to add in some kind of be it logical or illogical aspect, because sometimes illogic aspects are entertaining and it gives you a thinking out of the box aspect. Because on one hand, yes, men are supposedly to be more logical in thinking,
logic-based,
not really in action, but at least logic-based in thought. But sometimes some things when people start saying thinking out of the box, then we need the illogic mind of a man. Only men would think of stupid things to say, stupid things to do because it's funny, but it's thinking out of the box, literally, and sometimes it does work. So, well, I think they need men for this logical come illogical aspect. What do you think, Earl?
Sometimes it does work, like you say.
Please give your opinion. Don't agree with us.
I'm not agreeing. All I'm saying is a lot of times when I try that, I get a good screwing.
Wait.
The verbal sense.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because he went with a good screw and said, actually, so actually benefits him,
Actually benefits us. What's your take, Inky?
So I would say yes, you would probably need men to balance out the okay. Have you guys worked in a department or a company whereby it's mainly ran by women?
He's in the army. I don't think so.
No, not
Yeah.
my.
So basically, back in hospital settings, right? There will be certain departments whereby there are a lot of women, and it's been found that if you have too many women in a particular department, there is actually a lot of infighting that actually occurs because there's a lot of emotions being thrown around, and I think there were a couple of case studies in the States whereby they have certain companies run by women and they only hire women. They don't hire men, and the companies actually imploded, actually collapsed on its own weight because they just they are. I think if you Google, women only companies, right? These companies actually collapsed because what happened was there were a lot of infighting. There were just too much emotions going around, and then after that, then cliques starts to form. Right, then the internal cliques start to form, and then people stop talking to one another. So they lost the larger picture, which is the profit of the company. You want to run the company properly and all. So you need a couple of guys in, to diffuse all this stuff, and I don't know about you guys. I'm not generalizing women. I'm not generalizing women, but I've seen women, a lot of women, who would, end of the day, right, wouldn't talk to their friends, right, because of small stuff that their friends actually said, right? Most guys don't really care.
Anyway, we don't really talk to each other.
Yeah, most guys don't really care. And most guys, even if you have that, you have that small, I would say, disagreement. Yeah, after a while, over a couple of drinks, things get diffused. Yeah, teh tarik, you go out for a meal, you go out for a nice drink, you hang out for a while, everyone laugh at all the stupid shit, then things go back to normal. Yeah. So you do need men. Unfortunately. I would say you will still need men. You will still need men in your life. They might not be your lifelong companions, but you still need a little bit of men in your life to actually balance up.
Well, God did create Adam and Eve. He didn't create.
Yes. Adam and Steve.
Even who? we always make fun of Adam and Steve. Why don't make fun of Adam and Steve? Where's the Eve if it was good?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I reckon. But why would the thought come on? Why would the thought of men not being relevant come on?
I would say, because okay, now in the States, I think the past couple of years, right, this is a huge feminist move, and it's not only feminism per se, it is anti-masculinity. That means not only are the feminists saying that we want equal rights, we want to be superior to men. It means we are not looking to be equals, we are looking to be superior. And hence, over the past couple of years in the States, there is a huge movement. I think it was at its height when Hillary Clinton was trying to run for president. So there's this huge feminist movement going on in the States and a lot of all these westernized countries. And people claim that they actually don't need men. Men are the weaker sex, and I actually do agree with that.
Brownie points from the wife.
Yeah, I was thinking of doing the same thing.
No. The wife is not around. Okay? The wife is not around. Don't worry. She doesn't listen to the podcast.
you think because suddenly then she'll comment about something a couple of weeks later. I just might cut this segment now. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I think the feminist movement is actually self-destructive.
Yes. It's self-destructive because when men logical thinking, my logical thinking is, if you fight for equal rights, means you want to be in equal stature.
Yes.
To be equal stature means you also have to make sure that you are give and take to have that equality with men. Let's say if a man was strong in certain things, you have to give them that equality to join in. For example, if a man is not so good in sewing, so to say, and if he can progress, you should also acknowledge his achievements or his talents and everything. But the moment if a woman thinks that they can do better and they say that men are no longer needed, we are of superior sex and gender, then you are going against the whole gender equality.
Yeah.
Then I think you are right. It causes a higher chance of implosion and dissatisfaction, and therefore creates a very unhealthy culture. Men, I guess when women look into that, probably a long-standing history of abuse, domestic violence, taking women for granted, men do that very well, and sometimes they do it too much. So
Too well, yeah.
Too well. So, and then some people even use it as a bragging right, how well they do it. So I think some of it has to do with this kind of historical events whereby women have been taken for granted. They work hard, but they are not being recognized, and therefore, one fine day the woman says, "If you can do it, I would do it just as good, if not better." And once I'm there, technically, you're not relevant because now it's who's much better. So, what do you think? Do you think, if you see it from that, what kind of rationale we're trying to rationalize as three men to think?
Yes.
Think we're relevant or not really need us. Why do you think your wife always pokes fun at you?
Well, if you ask me,
don't disappear. Don't swing. Come forward a bit.
Right. I think that if you're talking about women taking things too far, and saying that men are no longer relevant, we should be superior than men. I think that's just those few outliers. Yeah, I've worked in organizations where I've seen very strong characters, as far as women are concerned, in very senior leadership roles, locally here as well as in international companies. And they're fierce, they're very objective-oriented, goal-oriented, and I find them to be very effective. And I think in the organization that I've worked with, having that good balance between good number of men in leadership roles and women working together, working closely together, it's a really great dynamic that works well for some of these organizations. So if you ask me, are men relevant? Yeah, they are. Every now and then, everyone needs a good hug. Women need a good hug. Even men need a good hug. But in the workplace, when we're not talking of hugs, work cultures and being productive. I see you distancing yourself from me. Yeah. I'm trying to gain brownie points here. They are needed in those roles. Both genders are needed equally. So that's just my take on it. We're still best pals, aren't we?
We can do a group hug later, okay?
All right.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, you see women in senior leadership roles. They are goal orientated. They're very focused. Do you find them masculine, or as masculine as other males, or do they still exude the feminist side?
They can be intimidating, but just as intimidating as any other man in leadership roles. And I think to a certain extent, you need to, in positions of leadership, you do need to exert that level of authority. And I've seen some of these women do it very, very well. In my days in the army, I remember as a trainee, cadet trainee, this was in the US. We were probably between the ages of 18 and 21, or really up to the ages of 23, 24 as cadets. I've seen exercises where it was men and women partnered together, men and men, some women and women partnered together. So we'd be running obstacle courses. So one would expect, running through the mud, having swam through the rivers and so on. If at all, there was a gender that needed help, it would be the women, where men would be carrying the women, helping across the obstacles. I remember on one particular exercise at the finish line, I'd finished the exercise. There's this one team of a guy and a girl. And at the end of the day, the female cadet had a guy. she was actually literally carrying him across the finish line. She was actually bearing his entire body weight over her shoulders, and she carried him through. So, yeah, they're fierce. They can be intimidating in positions of authority, but in a good way.
So you're supporting that they need men or they don't need men?
I think we need each other equally.
You're so political.
I know. I should have been.
You're a fence sitter, man. You're a fence sitter.
Ask doesn't do it.
Listen, I need to go back and sleep in my bed, not on the couch or on the floor.
Don't worry. This podcast only goes out on Saturday at 5:30. So tonight you will still be sleeping in bed.
Yeah. In maybe 20 years from now, but I still like to be sleeping on my bed.
There is
20
still
years from now.
time to update. Tell me what you want. Do you want to be Spider-Man or do you want to be Batman? I can hide your face. You just have one face go.
No, but I've never really seen instances where men are no longer relevant in the lives of women. So I've not seen any such instance. There are, like I said, women who may swear off men due to their past experiences, but those are the outliers, if you ask me.
Yeah. Even when back when I was doing aesthetics and seeing more women patients, there are some whereby they do find men not as relevant. These are usually those who've gone through bad marriages or bad relationships, and then they have to be the one who's supporting the family, whereas the guy has not really been much of a help in family. So in this aspect, they do behave as men are no longer needed nor relevant. They do have a good time going around with just their girlfriends, with their friends, and when their kids are in their teenage years, they start hanging out with their kids, and they spend generally more time with the kids and becoming a very inclusive uni parent. So they do tend to have this adjusted life whereby they do not seem to really require the necessity of a man. But it is nice to have the luxury of having a guy around and having that emotional thing once in a while, someone to tell you a stupid joke, someone to bring you out. Nice to have that feeling like you're still in some kind of intimacy, but functionally, they can function quite well without us once.
Isn't that like us though? I mean, look at you and I. We've been friends for quite some time.
Yeah.
I reckon you put us together in an apartment, you know, we could live together eating burgers and chips.
No, with kids.
Yeah.
not with kids. throw kids in the blender. No, thanks.
Three of us get stuck in the apartment.
Fine.
No, thanks.
It's you with one kid.
Yeah, fine. I mean, I'm sure we'll be fine. The three of us.
No, we won't be fine.
Boys and a girl. You think we're gonna be like, ooh, a holiday?
Okay, maybe not.
Among three of us, you're gonna be the one doing all the cooking and all the cleaning.
I was gonna say, it would have been okay. Now that you've thrown in kids, okay, that changes the dynamic.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
That changes the anti-dynamic.
Kids come in. When kids come into the equation, whether are men more equipped to look after them on their own, alone, as in like, don't chuck it off to the family, don't chuck it off to someone else, not to the nannies, not to the parents, as opposed to a woman looking after it independently.
You're saying a man can't do it?
I didn't say a man can't do it. I'm just saying, are they more?
I say generally men. I would say as a general point of view, I would say men won't be able to do it as well as women.
Well, they can, just not.
You can, yeah.
If they were a single parent with the full-blown responsibility of that, which will score brownie points with the wives.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, so he's done his bit, I've done my bit, so it's your turn.
Yes, none of us are sleeping on the floor tonight.
None of us wants to sleep on the floor. Because all three of us, we might just tag each other's wives on this podcast. Listen, I'm not as bad as you thought. If the other two is horrible.
If the three of us do a bad job, they might just say, get yourselves an apartment together. You guys can live together. I'm sure we'll make it. We'll be all right.
We'll be all right.
No, if three of us go to an apartment as single guys, I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
A couple of computers, have a PS4.
Yeah, PS5 actually, the latest one.
Yeah, we can get a PS5.
It'll be like that show Friends, Joey Chandler, and what's the other character?
Ross.
Right.
But Ross never moved in, so,
Yeah.
so it's just Joey and
So it's
Chandler.
just the two of us.
So-
Sorry,
so
Inky, you're out.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
No, you're joining it. It's Joey Chandler and Chandler.
Yeah, but I do agree with what Ali said. That I would say, in terms of being independent with family as a single parent, I would say women do it much better than men. And I've seen a lot of women raising kids on their own, and it's not just one child; it's multiple childs. 3 to 4 to 5, and they juggle the family life, they juggle corporate life, they juggle work, whether it's a corporate life or whether it's their own business, and they do it. I would say they manage to survive.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you reckon a man can do as good a job as a woman if he had to survive with kids?
If he had to survive with kids, if it's forced to, I would say he might be able to do it as well, if not better. But most men wouldn't want to do it. They usually chuck the kids off to their family, because I would say it's the cultural aspect. When men have always been taught, when you grow up, you have to work, provide for your family. But women, when they are brought up, they have this nagging thing behind the back, whereby they know that when it comes to kids, they will be in one aspect or another forced to give up certain parts of their life, sacrifice for their kids.
That's so sexist, Inky. I never thought of you.
It is very
No, it is. No, it is sexist. But at the same time, it is true. It is true. Most men don't. Most men won't actually think of sacrificing their corporate life. It's basically telling most guys, right? If you tell them, you know what, quit your job.
I disagree with that. I'd be
No.
happy to be a house husband.
That's you.
Let my wife bring
That's you. I can't. I will tell you, I can't. I tell you, I can't.
I disagree.
And majority of the guys I know can't.
Hey, well done, Inky. We managed to punching. We know who's the real one who wears the pants in his house.
Okay, so if three of us move in together, he will wash, he will clean. Both of us are sitting there playing PS5.
I'll tell you what.
And he look at the kids.
We'll look
We will
after all
just sit and
the
play
kids.
PS5.
I'll tell you who wears the pants in my house. It's definitely me. However, the wife will tell me which pair of pants to wear.
Oh man.
Wear the pink one. That pink one looks good on you.
Yes. The aggressive salmon, aka pink, looks good on you as you cook my eggs.
Yes, man.
Yeah, but I reckon you're right that when it comes to bringing up kids, maybe he'll do a good job, by himself.
Mhm. I'll do a horrible job, confirm. I'll let my kids watch TV the entire day. They can eat fries the whole day. I just don't care.
He only said that, it's for the show. It's entertainment. This guy's a pure entertainer.
No. I really, I wouldn't care.
He'll make them eat fries, then do 50 laps. You run now. You run. How many fries you have? 50 or 50 laps now. You're a military guy. So let's say if you had to single-handedly look after your child full time, will you be a very army-like dictatorial father and whip the child, not physically, but as in discipline him, or you'll be quite gentle because you are then a single parent kind of concept?
I guess for me, I'm a person who believes in being firm, but not the type who will use the rod on the child. Yeah. yes, being male, you can be more aggressive than having the mother raise the child. But I guess it's more being firm with the upbringing. If he needs to be disciplined, it'll be a vocal, in the vocal sense, telling him why he shouldn't be doing it. More in an advisory role compared to in the past, our parents would very quickly use the rod or the cane in our case. So I think styles of parenting have changed over the years. As we develop, we've seen how children's development, in my opinion at least, is more effective by explaining to them why something should be done. So that's the style I would take. Despite having gone through hardships in the military, I'm not the type to be a dictator. I've seen how senior military people who were using more of the dictatorial style and dictatorship style with their children were not effective on the long run. So I don't think it really works. I think just being firm and explaining to the child why something's right or wrong would be a better means of doing it.
Okay. You stammer a lot when you need to think so much.
No, you're just putting me on the spot.
Don't just answer, genuine answer.
It was a genuine answer.
Answer from the heart.
Carefully thought out.
Carefully thought out means it's politically thought.
No, I know. I should have been a politician. Not an effective one, but
Fail. No heart. No heart. Uncle Roger will be very upset. with
very
you.
angry.
Yeah. So coming back about men being relevant, let's talk about procreation. Okay. So we've. Oh, before that, actually, Inky, just now when we were talking about single women or divorced women who managed to bring out a child, let's say, compared to a guy. Yeah, I think I know more women who actually, in the end of it, single-handedly raise their child and don't remarry, as opposed to a guy who is a single parent father who will eventually remarry, because there are just a lot of components inside that he would prefer to have a partner to be together during his journey. So it's a bit, this logical discussion goes a bit in the favor of today's topic, that women can or have shown that when push comes to shove, they don't really need the men to carry on with life. We're not saying to start the life, but to carry on with life once the kids are there and everything is settled, and they don't want to go through the whole hardship, going through another heartache or heartbreak all over again. Which comes to the next topic, which I actually forgot what I want to say already.
Procreation.
Procreation.
Yes.
So when it comes to procreation, what's your take? Do women still need men in today's age?
Yes. Let's do an answer again.
Okay, let's not talk about the.
You guys are doctors.
Well, if we take out the sexual intimacy, sex is sex. You remove it. So do women still need men for procreation? So with modern technology, actually, you don't.
We're not talking about sexual.
Yeah, we're not talking about sexual intimacy and stuff like that. We're talking about carrying on the genes to the next generation.
The next generation.
You can ask the same question about men. Do men really need women then for procreation?
Actually, we do, because we have the sperms, but there's nowhere to implant it. So
Technically, it's cheaper to buy the sperm, which is one
than
time.
to use a surrogate.
Yeah,
than to use a surrogate. Yes. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Buying a sperm is a one-time transaction.
Yes.
It's like buying a Microsoft Windows, one-off, finish. Whereas getting a surrogate mother is like buying a subscription with a 9 months, payment that you have to pay.
And it's not a confirmed deal at the end of it. The mother can choose to keep to actually keep. Yeah.
No, it's like, whoa, this Earl fella looks handsome. Ooh, kids come out, very handsome. And then when you contact, nombor yang anda dah tidak dapat.
I like how doctors just make it sound like a usual transaction, a financial transaction.
No, it is. So you see, right? there is sperm banks, but there are no ovum banks. There are no egg banks and all, right? And then when you go to a sperm bank, the sperm donors are all anonymous. So basically, there's no they basically take away all the biasness. So it's anonymous. But you cannot anonymously go get a surrogate mom. Yeah. So
you want to see how hot they look, you want your child. To be fair, when the woman buys the sperm, I'm going to say it out loud. When the woman buys the sperm, she's going to look at your photo. She's going to look at your.
She hopes lah.
Yeah, she hopes that the look
is the best. Yeah.
We gave her the pre-hair loss photos.
Yeah, no receding hairlines. Didn't gain weight.
not.
Especially if you're wearing a nice army uniform and you were fit as a cadet at the time, would be the best.
Don't see the current status now.
Thank God this video thing is only chest and above, eh?
I never said. Okay, don't reveal too much about yourself.
Who's talking about me? I'm talking about you, dude.
Yeah, so it's quite unfair because they pay one time, they get it. We men, if we want a surrogate, we need to pay a subscription. Plus, no fun because you just donate your
boop, just one side.
Take my bottle of whatever.
Yeah.
Make magic. I'll see you 9 months later. By the way, it works well because for men who are in that case, they'll be like, I don't want to see what happens. I don't want to hear the fact. I don't want to go through your mengidam. What? You went at 3 a.m. with petai? No way.
Is that what you went through with your missus?
I did. Thankfully. Inky, sidetracking.
Yes. So
What
procreation, I would say procreation, men are not needed, but men need women, unfortunately.
I agree.
I'll agree.
I agree. So today we will unanimously confirm that men are not really needed.
I don't really need. I mean, it's men are nice to have around.
A luxury. I don't want to cause. We are a luxury to have.
Yes.
I agree.
So
Luxury,
yeah.
Luxury accessory. Do you want to be accessory or luxury?
I would like to be the arm candy lah.
That's all.
Yeah, the arm candy is good enough.
This guy is smart, He wants zero responsibility.
Yeah, I just want to be the arm candy. Just take me out once in a while, buy me stuff.
I'm going to cut this and I'm going to tag your wife and say, you just want to be the arm candy.
I just want to be the arm candy, man.
You're the trophy husband.
Yes, I want to be a trophy husband. I don't even want to be the house husband because I suck at housework. I suck at looking after kids.
You're the trophy husband. You're the Russian husband. You're the Russian wife, aka husband.
Exactly. I just want to go out and drink. That's all.
That angel wing.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah, but the more he talks, I don't know, is that an angel wing or is it dragonfly? Or it looks like a fly. That's cute.
Of course.
Okay, so let's do a final confirmation before the hour runs out. Because apparently COVID times are bad. I actually cut off my Zoom subscription, so we don't.
Ayo.
What?
So it's only 40 minutes. Okay, come.
Let's.
You see, a lot of times are bad, no?
No, this topic don't talk too long because you're in trouble when you talk too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk less, then you make less errors. Talk more.
less mistake.
Let's talk less for this round, but it's still
okay. So
I'm gonna vote. Men are not really needed. We are just nice to have. Good company. We joke. We give you a different perspective. We give you some logical thinking and some illogical jokes. Oh, your turn.
I second that. That's it.
No, find your own opinion.
No. You just second that.
Form your own opinion. Don't follow everything we say. Stop sitting on the fence.
Right. Like I said, needed for procreation. But besides that, we're a luxury to have. We can be an accessory as well. Arm candy, if you want to call it that way. Yes, that's it.
Still everybody has answer. Inky, your turn.
Right. So I would say men, if in a proper partnership, the dynamic actually works very well. However, if the chemistry is not there, of course, men are not needed. They are just they're not a necessity. I would say they can just be an accessory.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you got yourself a good husband.
Yeah.
Well, she's not there. Like,
Nobody's here. Yeah. I'm in heaven now, you know.
She's not going to give me some brownie points anyway. For her. Damn it. Okay, guys. So we're going to end this tonight, and we will be back next week with a different topic. And
Yes.
who knows? We might enjoy you enough to actually bring.
Yeah,
you
we might ask her to come back.
Yeah, he might be the one asking, hey, next week, got one more time. Right, with that, I'm Dr. Ali.
And I'm Dr. Inky.
Yeah,
Until next time, these are two dogs.